This is the Start Combat screen. Here you can select ships and fleets, and move them around in the deployment zone. Ships in a squadron will move in formation. They are currently in a column formation, so they will move in single file. You can change the formation here. The fleet will then move into the new formation. Squadrons are listed here. This fleet has 2 squadrons. You can move ships between squadrons. As well as create new squadrons. Or combine the 2 squadrons into one. You can click here to change the facing of the ship or formation. When you are ready, you can click here to start the battle. Let's get acquainted with the basics. While in combat view, you can pan around with your camera, as well as zoom in and out. You can also move the camera and refocus on the selected ship. You can give the ship a move order. The ship will move to that point in the sea. The ship can also turn. It will keep going in that direction until it is otherwise commanded. While the ship is moving, you can also steer the ship. The mini-map shows the location of your ships and any spotted enemies. Enemies only spotted on radar will appear here but may not be visible in the main view. You can zoom in and out, and move the camera around on the mini-map too. You can also give orders to ships on the mini-map by using the command wheel. To adjust the ship's speed, use the throttle. To fire available guns, you can either select them on the card at the bottom, or open the command wheel to select all the gun batteries. The firing arcs for each gun battery are shown on the minimap. Firing in an arc will see all available selected guns that are in that arc, fire in that direction. You can change the elevation of a gun battery. This can be useful if you wish to target the deck, or aim for less armored parts of the target. You can also change the ammo type for each gun. If your ship is equipped with torpedoes, you can select the torpedoes to fire, either on the card at the bottom, or by opening the command wheel and selecting torpedoes. You can change the torpedo spread. This will reduce the firing arc and the number of torpedoes used, as seen on the bottom ship card. At minimum spread, the weapon will fire a single torpedo instead of a salvo. You can also speed up time. You can give a ship a separate order. This means it has left its formation. You can click the rejoin button to return to formation. Below the formation icon is the fire at will, and for certain ships, the launch combat aircraft icon. With these turned on, ships will launch planes and fire their guns or torpedoes without you giving orders. To give an order to a squadron, select the squadron bar and open the command wheel. If you want to return to the campaign map without finishing the combat, you can either select retreat or auto-resolve. Mousing over them will give the odds of retreating unscathed or winning the combat. For instance, you are more likely to successfully retreat if you are faster than the opponent or out of their gun range. To recap this video, click on the tutorial icon at the top to see a full list of videos covering topics such as different weapon and ammo types, launching planes, and special orders. While submerged or in bad weather, submarines can be spotted through sonar, and when researched, radar. It is advantageous to reduce speed. Louder engines and bad weather can seriously affect submarine hunting. The different colors of the speed bands reflect how hard it is to spot a submarine. The red speed band means sonar isn't usable. In the yellow speed band, sonar has a penalty. When a submerged enemy is detected, its last known position will be shown on the mini-map. Sonar has a limited range and can be temporarily evaded by a submarine. Only ships with depth charges, or hedgehogs, can damage submerged enemies. When spotted, you can order your squadron, or individual ships, to attack the target. To manually attack a submerged vessel, select the depth charges or hedgehogs. These can be set to different depths, as submarines will try to evade you by submerging. The firing arcs for depth charges and hedgehogs are shown on the mini-map. The ship card allows you to select individual weapons. Their firing arcs appear on the mini-map. If you have vessels that are capable of launching planes, you can also launch them from here. The bottom icons cover the ship type and name, as well as the vital systems, speed, types of ammunition, and special orders. Depending on what vessel you have selected, will change the ammunition types. The options are armor-piercing shells, which have a bonus to armor piercing but deal less damage than high-explosive shells, and star shells, which increase visibility at night. Some guns are dual-purpose, meaning you can switch them to anti-aircraft mode. The level next to the ship type denotes how experienced the captain and crew are. The more experienced they become, the more abilities the ship will be able to utilize. The vital systems can be damaged and will affect the ship's performance. Depending on the ship's level, they will have repair points that allow you to target specific areas that are damaged. Repair points are regenerated when docked at friendly ports. Special orders cover things like creating smoke and disabling radar. With radar on, you are more likely to be spotted, while it does affect your ability to spot enemy vessels if you turn your radar off. It will make it harder to find you. Creating smoke will create a barrier that makes visibility of ships through the smoke impossible without radar or spotter aircraft. There are other unlockable special actions that are available as the ships gain experience in battle. Click on the airfield's icon and select an airfield. Click on the icon below to open the airfield window. Click on an aircraft type to see the aircraft details, as well as the cost and time to build. If you can afford it, click Build. You can queue multiple aircraft constructions, depending on level. Only upgraded airfields are able to utilize bombers. An enemy ship has been spotted. Click on the enemy ship and select Attack. You can speed up time here. The window that appears gives you different options. View on map centers the screen on the chosen battle. Auto-resolve will decide which option is best. If the fleets can attack each other, they might, if they think they could win, however they may retreat. The sneak past option will attempt to resolve the battle with little or no combat. The enemy fleet may have different ideas. For now, select Enter Combat. Small warships such as destroyers have passive sonar, with which they can attempt to spot submarines hidden at periscope depth. Some ship classes are better than others at detecting submarines via sonar. Once active sonar is researched, the sub-hunter trait also greatly increases the chances of detecting a submerged target, and allows for detection at a longer range. Some submarine classes are more stealthy than others. Submarines with the silent trait are even more difficult to detect. Non-military ships and larger warships have no passive sonar, and can only spot a hostile submarine while it is at periscope depth, and only at an extremely close range. Aircraft carrying an anti-submersible payload can also detect submersibles at periscope depth. The speed at which a ship is moving can affect its ability to detect submarines. At speeds in the yellow band on the throttle control, sonar has a penalty against detecting submerged targets. Faster classes of ship have a red speed band. At these speeds, engines are so noisy that sonar cannot detect submarines at all. Submarines can enter a deep dive to become undetectable by passive sonar. Ships with active sonar are able to detect submarines at all depths, but submarines are significantly more difficult to detect in the deep. Submarines in a deep dive are also unable to detect surface ships without the use of active sonar. A submarine using active sonar has an increased chance of being detected. Active sonar and active radar may be switched on and off using the toggle at the bottom of the screen. A hidden submarine will always give away its current position when firing torpedoes. Due to their small silhouette, there is also a penalty to spotting surface submarines at night. Aircraft carriers can be set to use a combat air patrol. With a combat air patrol active, the carrier will automatically launch fighters to maintain a defensive pattern, screening against incoming enemy aircraft. With a carrier selected, click the cap button to toggle its combat air patrol on and off. When you order a fleet or aircraft flight to attack an enemy fleet, if there are multiple types of ship in the enemy fleet, you can choose which enemy ship type should be prioritized. If the resulting combat is auto-resolved, the prioritized ship type will be targeted to the exclusion of others by the player's units, with other ships being targeted only after the prioritized targets are destroyed. If your aircraft are attacking a large enemy fleet with capital ships surrounded by a screen of destroyers, the prioritized target type also determines how likely the aircraft are to be hit by AA. If attacking destroyers, only destroyers will be able to hit your aircraft with AA. If attacking cruisers, both destroyers and cruisers will be able to target your aircraft with AA. If attacking battleships or carriers, all enemy ship types will be able to use their AA, as the aircraft will have to fly over the whole formation to get to the capital ships in the center.